Going on, Mr. Dave here. We're at the Delmar job and I have finished it. It is over, except for the slide coating, which is going to go on in a little bit on that gray part there of the slide. We'll get that going. But I know I did an update number 10 just a few days ago, but I don't know. I'm going to be getting out of here and hauling everything out and then be back in about 2 weeks to put on the slide coat. But I don't know, just thought you might like to see the end result. We sandpapered the rocks to give them that edge awareness. It highlights that, it scrapes off the paint just a little bit. I've watered down, rinsed all these off so it's not dried out enough to show the edges, but there's a relief a little tiny bit on these edges that lights up and when it dries out and shows a little more. I did a little bit of that on this thing, on the grotto here. We have the window, as it were. This is to be able to get the water moving out of there. It's going to be, water level should be right about here, so we should be able to get the leaves and such that goes into that area and not just have it stay there forever. My last step's going to be doing the power washer and cleaning off a little bit of the floor of the pool, trying to make it all dialed in for the pool guy. So here's the inside of this. I did some little videos on Instagram about that, and the shapes that you end up with just from the natural pegboard configuration set up these great crack orientations. And I'll see if I can get over here. I don't know if you can see it, but the way the pegboard fits in a curved space sets you up for some very nice textures, and so that's kind of cool. And we have again the typical boulder sided grotto. We put in a bench right here. This will be plastered, as well as the portion I'm standing on. This raises it up. This area is about 6 inches higher than the regular pool depth, so the little ones will be able to stand up here and not feel like their neck's just barely out of water. We used that little shell stamp, and then I painted it and then I sanded it. That same technique of sanding reveals some of the textures. There's sort of a weird little seaweed texture, and then you have the shell there. So we stuck a bunch of them down in this area by the window. There'll be more light, so they should be able to check those out. And so yeah, up here we've got the porthole, I like to call them. It lets light in, and you really need them in these places. This whole thing's gonna get 6-inch blue tile all the way up. Then they'll probably just mortar cap that and finish it out. I talked to the client about putting lights in here, landscape lights that will just feather out with a feed line, and so that will go on there. And let's turn this around, and so this is the other side of the grotto, and it's hard to see with this light. But anyway, like I was saying, the pegboard sets up these really nice places to set your cracks and give yourself a nice, interesting configuration. It just works out real nice. So this has all been stamped, sprayed on and stamped. My little funky thing. So let's move on out, baby. Check out the rest of this contrapulation. The landscape guy's going to put some really nice sidewalks in. Here's that satellite rock that I did a video on how to paint it. I think I'm going to power wash that a little bit because it looks like it's got a little dust on it. In fact, it does, because it's a lot darker than that. So I'll see if I can walk up here and not fall in the pool. So here's the real ones, and we're trying to get the dark hues with the Rockwork. So this is one of the boulders on the side of the grotto wall. That's a real one, and you can tell, but these are pretty darn close to the real McCoy. We're in the same family of colors, which is really nice. And so I rinsed everything off up here so the drains work really good and everything dissipates. See if I can shade the thing. And this is all hand carved stuff down here. I think we used a piece of scrap concrete that was a big chunk, and I just laid it in there and put the mortar underneath it and attached that to it, and we waterproofed everything. I use a very subtle sort of green thing for the spillway flat parts, and then I sand it so it looks a little better. Here's another little stepping stone. We're thinking about having the client put a ceramic pot right here, blue cobalt, which would match the blue tile that they have over on the pool perimeter, and get a nice beautiful plant in there. There you can see all the rockwork stretched out. A lot of rich colors. This is without question the most richly painted project I've ever done. Here's our slide wall rock going up, and here's the beautiful sidewalk, if you will, that they're going to pour up in 2 days. It's got a few drains, so that'll catch the majority of this water coming down. They're going to slope it towards these drains, and that's just a walk ramp, some stairs, and then it turns into a sidewalk that will weave its way up to our steps. And again, the pooches walked on our stamp after we were done, so we're leaving it. We're leaving their little signature in there, and they stepped right on up this face. So the pooches are part of the design crew. Here's the stamp rocks I just roughed out with pure shotcrete and just piled it up and made them fit. I always try to keep them a little asymmetrical again, right? Like we're always talking about. Here's the slide start, and this will be receiving epoxy and then polyurethane to get those going. The material needs to sit for at least 2 or 3, I think it said 3 weeks, 29 days, something like that. Long time. So that's going to be a curing, as it were. And there's the back of the Grotto waterfall right there again. These are stepping stones. They're just mostly functional, but they get the job done, and they're kind of down in there, and some real rocks mixed in. And so that's going on. And really like how this job came out. It's going to be beautiful. So we got one of the pool guys to give us that bender board elevation, so we set that little spillway sort of right there to there, and that's going to overflow. They're going to finish the tile up to the top of that, and that'll be how that works. We have the waterfall starting there, spilling down, and then it's going to be weaving its way down this water course and draining out towards the bottom. I already rinsed it, and it looks like it looks like most of it drained out except for a few minor puddles, which is for the birdies. This section right here is for it's the bathtub, I like to call them. So this section you'll be able to step on over, or roll your feet on over, or just step over from that side and just sit down in that big chunk of water. It's got the drain there too, and it's got a feed pipe over on the other side there. You can kind of see it. And so that's going to allow water to be pumped into this space, which will be the way to fill it up. Considered having a stream just run and dribble and find its way in here, but managing that and getting the elevation from here to here would have meant that there'd have to be some high water course to get to here to be able to fill up this and then overflow in this section right here. So I went with some valving. So we got some valves on the outside. Now here you can see the sandpaper on the little edges. So simple, but it's a great technique to highlight your stones, and then you show, especially on these more angled projects and rocks, you can really get those to just pop right out. It has 2 water feeds. One is the one that was original water feature, and then the smaller one in the back, which you probably can't see, is a 1.5 inch, and that's going to be coming here as well from a new pump. So that'll be giving us a lot of water out of here to do its thing going on down this whole feature. So I think well, here's the walkway they're going to be doing. It's going to be a sidewalk rolling off this beautiful big white deck, and then got a little retaining wall on the top edge a little bit. So that's going to give you a path all the way up to the slide start. So you get quite a few kids going a little crazy doing that sort of thing. So anyway, this is before we get water in it. But I wanted to show how it came out. So lots of rich colors. Thank you to everybody out there that's been so kind and left great messages. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. It was only a month longer than it was supposed to be. So it took a bit, but so much time to paint off stuff and to finish things out that way with paintbrushes. Just took forever. So you can see those three are real, and these are obviously manufactured, but the color range, if you get the colors in the same family of the real deal, the shapes can be a little different, and that's okay too. So what I got to do now is power wash the pool for the pool guy and get the water out of there, and then this one is in the books. So hopefully the next one will be out here not too long when we see everything running with the water going everywhere, and seeing if it's working the way they planned it to. So try not to fall in the pool and die wouldn't be good at the end of the project. So anyways, so Mr. Dave here on the rock pile, finished up another one. Yay, awesome possum. So you can check out our stuff at davehenderson.podia.com, davehenderson.podia.com. Got some free PDFs down there. I'm going to be working on some new courses on rebar construction, how to make rebar turn into a rock, and the various types of rock out there that there are. And so that's some things I've been pondering. I have so many different jobs to draw from. I think that'd be really a nice one. Help folks understand how to make a rock with just a piece of rebar. So I got a monster job coming up in Alpine shortly, and that other one up in Poway is going on now too. But anyways, www.daverhenderson.com, daverhenderson.com for my blogs and links to other platforms, and you too can do this. So anyways, hope you're having a good day. Remember to be thankful and forgiving, and tell someone you love them. Make someone smile. Take off your mask. Show them your smile. We have been woefully short on smiles the last year or so. And so at every opportunity, pull the mask down if you have to. Smile and put it back up before anyone sees you. So get a smile out there. Tell someone you love them, and be thankful and forgiving. The key to happiness. Pretty simple. Learn how to be thankful and forgiving. Holding grudges, no good. And so let's really work on that. I think we'll be a better country if we can each individually do that a little bit. So anyways, thanks for all you guys and your comments, as I said. Really appreciate it, and I look forward to getting back with another video of this one running. Will be awesome. So anyways, hope you're having a great day. Until next time, we will see you on the rock pile. Mr. Dave checking out. Have a good one. Bye.